Hey, what's going on, man?
You got it.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Randy Anderson here with I keep messing it up. What is good, everybody? It's your boy Mufasa here with another episode of the Average Guy Podcast on the Average Guy Studios, man. And today, like the title says, we'll be deep diving on a couple conversations that I had over the week. But yeah, man, got a couple of my co-hosts here today. You know what I'm saying? What's good, Lauren? Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's the deal, everybody? It's good to be back, man. It's good to be back, man. Let's talk to these average guys and average girls, man.
Yes, sir. And I also got my boy Jordan here, man. What's good, man?
Hey, what's going good? Everything's good, y'all. Ain't been on here in a long time, but good to be back.
Yes, it is. All right, so top countries, Egypt, Brazil, and the United States, man. Shout out to everybody that's been messing with us over the last couple weeks. Also, user 535520761, and also user 622770716. And shout out to the other user number. Shout out to everybody.
That they number.
You said what?
That they inmate number?
I possibly. So shout out to everybody that's been rocking with us over the last couple weeks in LA, man. Los Angeles, California. Shout out to everybody in Oklahoma as well. So yeah, man, let's get on this first topic. Well, the first thing I just want to talk about Joe Biden real quick. Joe Biden has been copping pleas because I don't know if you guys have seen like all his videos where he's been touching and fondling young and older women. So yeah, now that he's running for presidential candidate, that everybody's tossing that on him and like, yo, so what are you gonna say about this? You know what I'm saying? So what is your thoughts on that, Lauren?
Now that he's running,
go ahead, Lauren.
Man, I mean, it's funny that it's coming out now, is all I'm going to say. You know what I'm saying? And it came from somebody in Bernie's camp. You know, that goes to show you how dirty politics can be. You know, I mean, look, I don't know, like, the details, but the one video that they have out there, I mean, the young lady came forward, said what she had to say, and I didn't really see anything, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's pretty normal for, you know, in that particular, really in any arena, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he kissed her on the mouth or nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I mean, it's pretty normal in those environments for people to do a quick little, you know, side little thing on the cheek or something like that. I mean, I didn't see him grab no booty or nothing like that. So, I mean, I think it's more of a political strategy from Bernie Sanders' camp, just, you know, pull up some type of dirt, you know.
Right.
I mean, this kind of goes back to a conversation we had some time ago about how, you know, when you cry wolf, eventually when something happens, people aren't going to respond. And I feel like the Me Too movement has really gotten out of hand, you know, with, you know, people just being ultra sensitive about things and, you know, wanting to have that platform. I think that's really what it's about, is, you know, people wanting to have that platform to get their face and their name out there, you know. You surely ain't hear about this chick before this happened. And when it goes away, because it will, because I think it's relatively, I mean, I don't think there's anything there, you know. You'll forget her after that. So, nah, man, I mean, it's just somebody digging up dirt because he's thinking about running. And, I mean, right, wrong, or indifferent, he ain't even actually said he's running, and he's already got 20% of the people that support him in the Democratic Party, and he hasn't even officially said he's running yet. And 20% of the Democratic Party's like, we with Joe. So, I mean, shoot, Joe Biden, Joe Clark. I mean, shit, everybody with Joe, man.
All right, first things first. What's good, Corey, man? Long time no see. Hope everything's good.
What's up, man? What's happening?
All right.
How your ankle feeling?
Oh yeah, Iron Man.
Hey, okay.
All right.
All right, go ahead, Jordan.
I mean, like I said, man, Trump had all types of stuff, man. He still got put in, but I think it's just a tactic. You know what I mean? Like he said, he ain't even said he was running for it, but he got a lot of people backing him up. He's just scared, probably just pulling up some old stuff that people taking it out of context, stuff like always. But like he said, I think it's gonna blow over.
All right, you said it's gonna blow over too.
Yeah, I don't think anything is really gonna come from it, unless I mean, you know, it could just be that now. Then a whole bunch of stuff come out of nowhere, like the Cosby thing. But I honestly don't think anything's gonna come from it.
All right, Corey, what you got for us, man? The Joe Biden thing. We talk about Joe Biden.
Okay, it'll blow over.
Oh, shit.
Blow over. Yeah, nobody. I mean, they showed a bunch of pictures where he touchy feely or whatever. It seems that, like Lawrence said, a lot of people that's they pick. That's who they going with. That's been the main guy as far as the on the Democratic side. So yeah, it's they ain't gonna do nothing to that dude. They ain't gonna touch him. All I'm gonna say is get ready for another 4 years of Trump.
Oh no.
Get ready for another 4 years of Trump. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
So that means us niggas need to work harder. All right, so
niggas need to get to these candidates. I know I'm not fucking with it if they not coming with nothing specifically for black people. I ain't talking about none of that. Something for everybody and all that shit.
Bullshit.
If it ain't for black people, they can count me out of this shit. You know what I'm saying?
So no Andrew Yang? No Andrew Yang?
No Andrew Yang. I don't give a damn. If everybody else want to go for Andrew Yang, good, all power for him. But I won't have nothing to do with no voting, no nothing. That's simple.
All right. So only thing I got is I forgot what law it was, but Joe Biden actually was the one that enforced the law that a lot of people still use to this day. If any of you guys know, please let me know what it is in the comment box, or if Lauren, Corey, or Jordan, if y'all know what it is, y'all can say it now. I forgot exactly what it was, but yeah, just to know, it's to hold down black people. And all y'all black people, y'all love Joe Biden because he was behind Barack. But all that
Joe Biden.
Yeah.
You said Joe Biden has a law to hold down black people.
Yeah, pretty much.
I gotta look that up.
Right.
I posted probably about a month ago. It was about tagged y'all in it. It was about Joe Biden's comments. Now it's from 1975, but it's about the way he felt on different things. I forgot it word for word, but he was talking about how he doesn't feel he doesn't believe in integration, but he was looking at it from a stance of what can a white kid learn from a black school? You know what I'm saying? They were basically inferior. Looking at it from their stance, there were some things that he did say within it that I did agree with, but for the most part, a lot of it came from an ignorant stance. So if y'all get a chance, look that up. It was from an interview he did in the 1970s, which he was still, because he's an old ass man now. He was an old man then. He was probably about 1970. So he's probably mid 30s or so, mid 30s at that point. So he was able to formulate his own thoughts and come up with different conclusions to how he felt about different things at that point in his life. So that's definitely something that needs to be brought up is that interview, is how he feels now, which he could lie about it. Who gives a fuck? It's all politics. It's all a game. It's all a business. It's all a business how they run. Like I said, we need to get into this. We need to, if you about trying to see black people grow, we don't need the government because that's not our issue. Is the government? But if they want to have anything, if they want to include us in a politics or shit like that, it needs to be done on a quid pro quo basis, something in exchange for something.
Let me ask a question, man. What you said brings up a very, very, I think, interesting topic. So, how hard should we hold people accountable for things that they either said or did in their past? And the reason I ask that question is because as human beings, we typically tend to evolve into something a little bit different every 5 to 7 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, if one's perspective 20 years ago was this, is there an opportunity for growth to have a new perspective on that exact same topic?
Well, yeah, there's an opportunity, but it still needs to be voiced. You know, it can't go without saying, because he could very well still have the same perspective. So whether he would be lying or not, put that sound bite out there to let us know where you stand. So, you know, however you move in the future or whatever, we can go off whatever new sound bite you put out now. You know what I'm saying? And if you start contradicting yourself and start looking like how you were speaking back then, well, we'll have something to reference. So that soundbite needs to be put out there and it needs to be spoken about, because otherwise, you know, if you don't hold them to that, we'll just all be going off of he's a change. We'll just be speaking for somebody and trying to tell somebody what's going on in their mind, and we ain't psychics. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Gotcha.
All right.
That's the question I wanted to pose.
All right, cool. So we about to move over to this next thing. This next question. All right, yeah. This next question is I've gotten some backlash. Some people said I shouldn't have said it, but I mean I'm still gonna ask it. All right. So the question is: do you believe black men walk with more fear than any other race or gender? That is a question I propose to everybody in the room right now and everybody in the chat. Everybody that will be listening on the replay. So let me know what you guys think. So I'll let you guys go first. Corey, I'll let you go first. Go ahead.
No, we don't walk with more fear. We just don't have the correct information. We're not the information, different things, whether it's Bible or scholarly, whatever shit about the world. A lot of times it's just not relayed to us in the proper way. But as far as just being scared, we not scared for the most part. From what I've seen, I mean, you go to the hood, niggas ain't scared as shit. It's just I know what the question is relating to. You know, it's you know, we're so quick to kill each other, but you know, a white man come around or something like that, we won't do that. Well, that's just human nature, you know what I'm saying, in general. For the most part, it's American society nature. The same reason why a lot of these presidents, you know, ain't no president got killed. Or I know who was there, Reagan or somebody got shot, but other than that, nobody really been killed since, you know, JFK. Because you know, a lot of times we take the easiest road. We know for a fact that black people, we as black people know that, you know, us killing each other and different things like that, it's the easiest road. You're more likely to get away with it. One, because we as black people have adopted the criminal culture, so you even got civilians sitting up here talking about snitching and shit like that. So motherfuckers who working a goddamn 9 to 5 every day talking about they ain't gonna snitch and shit like that. That shit don't apply to you niggas and bitches, whoever. It don't apply to y'all. But they gonna adopt that. They gonna adopt that mindset. So ain't nobody gonna talk, ain't nobody gonna say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Probably eight out. I'm not gonna say 9 times out of 10 because you know it's up in a little bit, but 8 times out of 10, motherfuckers ain't gonna talk. On top of that, you know, the police don't give a fuck. America don't give a fuck about you. So it's not going to be those type of man hours put into finding the killer and different things like that. You know, you see, it was more focus putting on trying to find trying to investigate the Jussie Smollett situation. So we're just an easy target. It's an easy target, especially with the conflict and, you know, where we're at. the different things that go on. It was just easy targets. I feel if it was done on a, you try to do it on a politician or shit, something like that, or even that, you look at it. There's been a lot of white boys that been killed, you know what I'm saying, and robberies and different things like that. You can look it up all the time, bro. Go and meet some niggas up on Craigslist and shit like that. Niggas don't have no problem killing them and no robbery and things like that. It's just we live amongst each other, so you definitely gonna see it more, and you're gonna see it more in bulks with us. So we're not scared. You know damn well if you kill a police officer, it's going to be more of a manhunt than if you kill, your next door neighbor and things like that. And these niggas is in the game for money. They trying to, not even that, whether it's money or whatever the fuck they trying to get across. They're trying to get their own independence in life going on, whatever they trying to do. They're in it for self. So they're going to take the easiest fucking road. They're not going to do nothing that's going to have that they feel is going to have them hot or anything like that, which is relative to the Nipsey Hussle situation. One way to look at it, and I don't think not many people talked about this, this is just a theory. If you look at some of the information that we got from the murder and stuff that was going on with the investigation, they're talking about now. They saying the dude, there wasn't no talks about the dude being a snitch or anything. They said he actually shook the dude's hand before the dude came back and shot him. One way that could be looked at, and this is something that I've always talked about, when you're trying to go back and do good in the hood, you know what I'm saying, there's the high possibility you're gonna get killed. Reason why? Because you slowing down niggas' money. You slowing down what they got trying to go on. You slowing down they operation. You know what I'm saying? So, and just like I said, a day later, he was about to go meet up with the LAPD. He's trying to stop the violence and things like that, but these niggas ain't looking at it like that. The violence is necessary because they got to get whoever they got to get out the way. They not worried about that shit. They trying to get police out the way. So they start looking at Nipsey Hussle, and this is just a theory, like I said. They start looking at him as if he's an obstacle, you know what I'm saying, to what they trying to do.
All right, Jordan, do you remember what the question was?
What was it again?
Do black men walk with more fear than any other race or gender?
I don't think we do. I don't, for a fact. I know I don't. But I can see why people would say yeah. You know what I mean? It's a lot of violence in our culture all the time. Same thing what he said with the Nipsey Hussle thing. Trying to word it correctly because I know people get offended with this, especially adding gender into it.
God,
let's just see it. Let them have it, because
I say yeah, we do, man. Because yeah, we do, but we don't. I feel like we have a bigger target on us. You know what I mean? Because black people view a black man a certain way, and other people view us a certain way, and all that. And in my household, you a man, you're supposed to be there, you're supposed to provide, you're supposed to do all this. You got this on your back of how you're supposed to be. Then a lot of times in black culture, dads ain't really there. And then you got other cultures that be like, oh, they dads ain't never there. They ain't never did this. They ain't doing that. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's a lot of pressure on us. I don't know about fear exactly, but I feel like it's a lot of pressure to try to overcome what people be saying about us and what we say about it ourselves. But yeah, that's all I gotta say.
All right, Lauren, you up next. What you got for us?
Man, can I preach to him? Can I preach to him, B?
Go ahead, get him. Get him.
Man, check it out. Check it out. Nah, we don't live in fear. Like we really don't. And that's kind of a problem. You know, fear is not a bad thing. You know, a certain level of fear is actually relatively healthy. You know, and we out here living reckless. You know what I'm saying? You know, and one of the things, you know, that has always been an issue in our culture here in America is that we have learned to accept second best. Like, we accept second best. And we try to make it seem like it's cool, and it's not. And, you know, we're very, very, as a culture, we're very, very unorganized. We lack discipline in a lot of ways, you know. Back in the 60s when we were still getting lynched and stuff like that, you know, you had to make sure you wasn't on the wrong side of town at a certain point in night.
What was it called? It was called Moonlight Hour or some shit like that. I forgot what it was called. I forgot what the exact name of it.
Yeah, so I think a healthy fear is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? It always forces you to know what environment you're in. It forces you to make sure you button your shit up, you know what I'm saying, and not be so reckless. It's a lot more reckless now than it used to be, man. I remember when I lived in the hood as a kid, like, there were rules and codes, you know what I'm saying? Like, you took care of your shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't had nothing, but we took care of the things that we had. We made sure that our neighborhoods, you know what I'm saying, for the most part, were policed in a way to where we weren't necessarily recklessly hurting each other in such large numbers. You know what I'm saying? Now you go in the hood and these cats don't have no rules. You know what I'm saying? You got these little young knuckleheads, you know what I'm saying, that think they run in the streets, you know what I'm saying, and run in their neighborhood, and not understanding that, you know, that dog eat dog mentality is eventually gonna get you murked. Like, eventually, you know what I'm saying? And so we need to live in a healthy amount of fear, you know, to make sure that we stay buttoned up, we stay organized. And to me personally, like, the recklessness is the thing that's hardest for me to swallow, is the hardest pill for me to swallow. Is the fact that we're a lot more reckless now than we have ever been, from my observation in my lifetime. Is we're so reckless right now, you know what I'm saying? And it's a scary thought, you know what I'm saying? You know, the young kids don't respect the OGs, you know what I'm saying? The OGs don't want to say nothing because they're afraid, you know what I'm saying, to get murked. So ain't nobody helping anybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's just existing. Everybody's just living. You know what I'm saying? So there's no growth when you just sitting there, you know what I'm saying, just going through the motions day after day after day. There's no growth, you know, and it's hurting our culture, you know what I'm saying? And everybody else knows it except for us. Everybody else can see it except for us, but don't nobody else care. And that's the thing, like, nobody's gonna care about you and who you are and the things that you have no better than you are. Nobody's gonna do it. So if you don't care, why should anybody else care? And it's just gonna lead to a slow decline. You know what I'm saying? To the point that, you know, before you know it, we'll be wiped off. We'll be wiped off the face of the earth, man. You know what I'm saying? And it has so many layers to it that it's hard to pick a spot and just start there. You know what I'm saying? Because it's you know, it's like it's like a open sore. You know what I'm saying? Like you think you healed, and then you rip that layer of skin right back open, and you just start bleeding again. You know, and it's just a repetitive cycle because we haven't taken the time to properly heal. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I'm done. I'm done preaching to him.
Hold on real quick, Corey. Hey, Jordan, can you mute your mic? Because I hear like TV or something like that in the background.
Yeah, hold on.
You can just mute your mic. You don't have to mute the TV. But go ahead, Corey.
No, that's good.
No, I don't think we'll ever be wiped out because, you know, and this is just theory. This is a theory that another theory that I'm about to put on the table. But, you know, just like the body, you know what I'm saying, repairs itself and it has different ways that it works subconsciously or whatever the word is for it. You know, the body is like its own sentient being within itself. It does its own little thing. And I believe we kind of do that. It's the reason why we're not wiped off now. You see how we have babies at a crazy rate. It's almost as if it's a kind of like a what's the word I'm looking for? Not panic mode, but it's like in emergency mode. Like we have these babies and we have them at the crazy rates. You know what I'm saying?
Like rabbits.
Because it's the only thing that's keeping us alive. It's the only thing, because I mean, we're dying at record numbers. I mean, if you just go across, you can't go on the internet and really find a good number for how many are dying a year. But if you start, doing the math and go to each inner city and put it together, I mean, it's ridiculous. We haven't died like this at any point in history, not even within slavery. Like this is real bad. But we're creating babies. You know what I'm saying? We're creating babies out of marriage and things like that. And while it's out of order, you know what I'm saying, it's not the right way to do things. I believe it's the only thing that's actually keeping our race alive. If you look at every race since probably 1990, especially the white race, or what they call the white race, because even within that, they have, they mark down as Latino. They have marked down as Latino on the census and the jobs thing, but the majority of them, they identify as white within themselves. But if you look at them, they've actually tripled. Their population has tripled within that time span from 1990 to 2019. So from I think it was about 125 to 325 million or so. Meanwhile, the black race, we've lingered around we were at 30 million. 30 million. Did I say it right? I said 125 million or whatever. I think I just said 1,000, but let me know if I'm wrong. I've been drinking a little bit. But no, we were at 30 million then. We was at 30 million then, and right now we're only at 35 to 40 million. So we haven't, while we've upped it a little bit, we haven't made much progress as far as expanding, populating ourselves, but it's something that's keeping us alive.
I think that's due to interracial relationships.
Interracial relationships, that's a good way to look at it, because they sure do, and they mark themselves down on the census as two races or more. So yeah.
All right. See, what's crazy is Lauren and Jordan, y'all both said y'all don't have fear, or y'all don't feel fear. Me, on the other hand, I do. I have fear of me just going out on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? Going to work, being at work. I got fear that if
you got good hair, you ain't got no problem.
if only that was the case. Yeah, man. Like, I have fear on a daily basis that I could be somebody could just pull up on me, and then it could be raps for me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even do shit crazy like that. It's just that I come from Kansas City, and I know what the city could bring. You know what I'm saying? So I take that same fear that I had in Kansas City to wherever I go. You know what I'm saying? I want to respect the person that's in front of me. You know what I'm saying? Like the household, the person that's ahead of the household or whatever. But like at work, I have that same fear that they look down on me anyway. You know what I'm saying? If you work in corporate America, you have that, like, you working with people and you have the quote unquote higher ups, but you know that they look at you differently because you're not of their same color. So you got to put in more effort, but still get looked down upon. If y'all understand where I'm coming from. So I have my fear my fear actually pushes and thrives me to do better in my life. You know what I'm saying? So, and the reason why I said race and gender, white people ain't got that fear at all. White people don't have any fear of being fucking just called out at any moment, and the cops are right there. I'm calling the cops on you. Let's just say I call the cops on a white person, right? Okay. But if the white person caught the cop on me, if I'm not on the ground with my hands up in the air, my hands behind my back, I could get shot at any time, any minute. You know what I'm saying? And the whole female thing, and I'll also add the LGBTQIA, whatever. I'll add them in there later. But the female thing, like, don't get me wrong, I understand females can get raped and can be abused and da 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 da. I understand that. I definitely do understand that. But as a black man, it's things that you can get away with because you're a female that I will never be able to get away with because I'm a male. And I understand if you guys want to come at me with hate mail, that's fine, good and dandy. But yeah, that's what fear I live in every day. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all got anything else for me, we can continue on it.
So I want to talk a little bit about self-loathing. I think one of the interesting components to the dichotomy of being a black man is that we don't have enough. I feel like we don't have enough love and respect for ourselves either, and that's why it's easier to tear us down and rip us apart. You know what I'm saying? You know, the statistics will tell you that we come from broken homes, we come from fatherless homes and things of that nature. And I think that's somewhat of a false narrative. Now I know I do come from a fatherless home for the most part, you know, but statistically that's not necessarily true as a whole. You know what I'm saying? That's just the narrative that that the media puts out there. And what it does is it creates self-hate within our own species as black men. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can look, but
is it a narrative? I mean, it's
jaded, is what I'm saying.
It's over stereotyped. It's over stereotyped, but I mean, there is truth to it because we're at an economic disadvantage, and being in a situation like that is going to bring that type of household. You know what I'm saying? I come from the same type of household.
But I think
if you find
exaggerated, I guess this might be the terminology I should use. It's exaggerated.
Yeah, it is exaggerated. Yeah,
I think it's exaggerated. You know. And I know we're going to talk about this in a few minutes, so I'll bring it up just a little bit here. But, you know, when you look at the Nipsey Hussle situation, you know, from the information that's out there now, it sounds like, you know, there's a bit of jealousy, you know what I'm saying, in some form or fashion, you know, and that's just not foreign to us as black men. You know what I'm saying? That's why we killing each other in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Because instead of trying to build each other up, you know what I'm saying, we jealous of the next dude that may have attained some level of success that we aspire to achieve on our own. And so if I can't have it, you can't have it either. You know? And so we spend a lot of time tearing each other down instead of taking that same energy and trying to build each other up, because one of the things in American society is that American society is afraid of our power. So they will use any and everything to try to tear us down and keep us down, because the minute that we're able to exercise that power to our advantage, that's a problem for, you know, everybody else. And again, it goes back to the jealousy thing. You know, you know, white guys understand, and they'll tell you, and they're not lying when they be like, "Man, black guys are so cool." You know what I'm saying? We are, you know, but there's another more sadistic thought process to that says that, well, we can't have that because that natural attraction will take the shine away from us, and then what happens? You know, so we're hit from every angle. You know what I'm saying? We're hit from our own angle with self-loathing, not loving each other. You know what I'm saying? As black men, we're hit from the other side. You know what I'm saying? With white America. You know what I'm saying? Powerful America, and them not wanting to see the rise of us in any capacity. You know, so they continue to find ways to poke holes in us. So we go at each other and we do their dirty work. Like, we're essentially doing their dirty work in a lot of cases. You know, they don't have to take us out because they've put enough doubt in our own minds that we just take out each other sometimes. You know, so we help them. We help them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and I know you had made mention to the point about, being in certain environments and, being afraid of what may happen to you and things of that nature just based off of your life experiences. But one thing I will always caution our generation of is we don't have it on a level like it was back in the Jim Crow days. We don't have it on that level. You know what I'm saying? We do have a little bit more elasticity as far as, where we move around and how we move around. I do understand the notion that we still have to have a heightened sense of our surroundings, and things of that nature. But I don't think we have it near as bad now as it was, 50 to 60, years ago. It was far worse back then. So while we can say that we've made progress, we can't rest on those. We can't rest on those laurels to say that we don't have a massive amount of work to do if we want to achieve more. I guess is what I'll say. If we want to achieve more, there's a lot more work to be done. And it really, for me, it all starts with a more of an economic balance, personally. But that's my opinion.
Okay, I actually want to say this. It's another question. It's so since we're speaking about this fear, this inner fear in us, in black men, do you believe that it's in our genetics because of what we like you said from our ancestors? Do you believe that genetic trait, because you get a genetic trait from each one of your ancestors and it goes to generation to generation to generation? So whatever I've been through in my life, I'll end up passing some of that to the next generation, which will be my kid. And what my kid goes through, it'll be my generation, his generation, and then the kid will be passing off his new generation. So do you think that that has an effect? Do you think that has an effect on us? That's what I wanted to say. Yeah.
So I don't see. I try to be careful with how I categorize things. I don't know if genetic is the right word. Maybe predisposed.
But is there a fear to even begin with, though? Like I said, is there a fear is there a ability to only go with the? Huh? I
don't think it's genetic. I think it comes more from a predisposition of those that came before us, if that makes sense. Like, a kid doesn't know you shouldn't walk in the street. You have to tell that kid you shouldn't walk in the street because you could get hit by a car. Otherwise, the kid's just going to walk out in the middle of the street and not have any care in the world. You know what I'm saying? You have to train that kid, hey, that's not safe. You know what I'm saying? You're putting that fear. Now, again, and that's where I think a healthy amount of fear is always good. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think it's genetic. I just think it's a predisposition, and we teach our children, you know, you got to watch yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you do. You know, you shouldn't do this because this may happen. You know, you can't walk up to a cop the same way a white kid does. And I'm not saying the fear is not real. I'm just saying that it's taught. You know, it's a learned behavior. It's not something that you're born with.
All right, Corey, what was you saying?
No, I don't think I don't think the fear that we have is anything that's exclusive to us. I believe we just as Americans, as American people as a whole, are just a fearful people. Because you got a lot of like take for how the Vietnam War, and this was a war America lost, but how that was lost. You know, you had things like the kamikaze fighters, or even if you go over there, you know, in the Muslim race over in the Middle East, and how they're willing to give up their lives. You know
Put on them backpacks.
Huh?
Putting on them backpacks.
Putting on the backpacks, right. They'll even send their kids, you know what I'm saying, up. You know, they'll do all types of things. They'll put their life on the line. And, you know, a lot of it is because they have a, you know, whether it's right or wrong, they have an understanding on what it takes in life to achieve certain things and to achieve the bigger picture on different things. Whereas we here in America, we so goddamn spoiled on everything. You know what I'm saying? We living good. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, for the most, compared to a lot of places, you know, we're living good, and even within the doctrine, the way that we give doctrine, we're just not taught to really, you know, it comes back to even with the Kanye West thing. A lot of people, you know, thought he was crazy, and I think the way he posed it, you know, as far as slavery was being a choice was in an inappropriate way, but what he said was essentially true, because like I said, death is always an option. But Americans don't look as that, you know, don't look at it as that way. You know what I'm saying? And that's why nothing will ever get done. You know what I'm saying? Because people don't look at death as an option. So when you're able to leverage that on a person, you won't get any change. Because I mean, shit, the government always have more guns and, you know, more whatever. They can kill you with chemicals and all type of shit, put it in your food, whatever, man. And so, you know, if you're living scared, you'll always be at their mercy. And so that's why I talked about, I think it was that last week, I was talking about, you know, how, you know, the way different books, you know, namely the Bible, it gets taught in the same way as the Book of Game. Now, it has a lot of fairy tales that's sprinkled within it, but it has a lot of game in it. And like I said, you know, niggas will look at, you know, Bishop Don Juan. I'm just saying Don Juan. I know that's probably played. Don Juan probably played out by this point, but, you know, whoever Phil Mo Slim, whoever you think got some game, talk some of that slick ass shit, niggas will listen to that shit all day. But, you know what I'm saying? But they, you know, they'll look at the Bible like it's a, you know, a bunch of bullshit. You know, oh, that's man-made, so man written that. But it's, you know, no matter if a man wrote it or not, it's, if you look at that and measure it to life, you know what I'm saying, look at the different aspects, it's literally telling you how to live life. I mean, motherfuckers will follow horoscopes talking about goddamn Virgos and what a Virgo and a Sagittarius and all that bullshit is, you know what I'm saying? But you literally got a book that's giving you the goddamn game in it. And so it needs to be taught. It needs to be taught in that manner. But I think it gets to, you know, like I said, we get believing in the fairy tales of it. Who knows if it's a fairy tale, but like I said, it hasn't been proven. So it's just as valid as damn Hercules and Zeus as far as the characters is in it. But, you know, you can get a lesson from the rabbit and the hare. The rabbit and the hare ain't a true story, but the lesson is you can equate it directly to everyday life. And so I think that's part of the problem. So now it's not a fear. If anything, I think we have I think we have less fear than anybody as black folks. At times we can be, which leads us to do very reckless things. You know what I'm saying? We can be reckless at times, but you know, as far as it being exclusive to us, nah, that's not a black thing. That's an American thing. Fear.
Well, it's 3-1, y'all. I guess I'm the light skinned duckling out of this group. All right, so let's move over to the second topic, man. We're gonna be we spoke a little bit about Nipsey. So what do you really think could have got Nipsey killed? I just want to get you guys' opinion on this. What do you guys really thought? What is your thoughts that really could have got Nipsey killed? Corey, I'll let you go first.
Like I already said, I don't believe at all that it was the Dr. Sebi thing. I don't think it was the government. It wasn't the Dr. Sebi. That Dr. Sebi thing's been public information for the longest. There's already documentaries. There's all type of information on Dr. Sebi. I've known about Dr. Sebi
for years,
for over three years now. It could be the LAPD. They have a strong history of corruption. One of the most corrupt police forces ever. You know what I'm saying? I know that firsthand. My uncle, not directly with the LAPD, but he worked for the Compton Police Department. I mean, they literally put shit. They want his head. They wanted I don't know if still to this day, but they wanted his head then. He had to get the fuck up out of town because he wouldn't comply with what they were doing down there, you know, as far as their corruption. Yeah, so it's always been corrupt as far as them. You know, you never know. They could have did something to made a deal with the snitch or whatever. I mean, that's just all a theory. What I believe most likely to happen, I truly, like I said before, I truly think that this was the gang. No matter how big a rapper and how much his influence or whoever, you can't calm that monster that has become the gang culture. You know what I'm saying? You look up in Chicago, you look up with the beast between the BDs and GDs and all that. There's no OG or anything that can stop that. They can stop people individually, small groups, but as a whole, you can't stop that because it's grown into something. It's grown into a monster. It's outgrown into a way that it can't be calmed down. I mean, shit, it's bigger than a gang now because a lot of the gangs have now broken down into cliques now. They broken down into, individual cliques, whether it's, street or, you know what I'm saying, or just, they friends or whoever. So now you got GDs beefing with other GDs and shit like that. And it's the same like that as far as Bloods and Crips and shit like that. Yeah, it's just, it's bigger than one person. One person can't change that. You can only affect who you can affect. But like I said, when they start looking at it as, hey, you slowing our money down and you slowing our operation, look at how who was that who took control of the Gambino family? I believe it was Castellano. Castellano was his name. He was trying to do the same thing, trying to make changes and trying to make positive change and do things on a bigger level. And the mob had them hit for that because it was gonna slow down what they had going. It's gonna fuck up their money. And so I truly think this is a possibility. If you'd have asked me, I put my money on that. That's what happened, especially with it being a day before him supposed to be meeting with the LAPD. I think that might have been an issue. I think the gang put a hit on Nipsey Hussle, and they sent somebody who was expendable or something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
All right, just to protect everybody, that was alleged. Jordan, you up next. Unmute your mic. There you go.
Honestly, I don't know. There's been a lot of speculations and stuff that's been going on and what could have happened and what didn't happen and all that, but hearing what Corey had to say makes a lot of sense. You know, messing with people's money. You trying to stop gang violence and all that, and they ain't with it. But I don't know, man. It's sad that it happened because he was a good guy. He had good music. He had good intentions. But I have no idea why. None at all. I don't know.
All right.
I really don't have too much to say about it. I've been, like I said, I've been thinking about it the past couple of days, but I honestly don't know why it happened. At first, when they said that the dude that did it, I was like, nah, man, that dude ain't come out and said that. But he said he came out. He said it was me. Yeah, I did it. I'm like, okay, well, for what reason? Like, what was your intentions? Why did you do it? But I don't know. I'm just waiting to hear everything first, I guess.
All right. Lauren, you up next.
Jealousy, man. I mean, pretty much hit it on the head, and I talked about it a little bit earlier, man. Like, you know, when you put the fear of God in somebody to where they feel threatened by your mere existence, they're gonna do something about it. You know, I mean, if you really put that fear in them, they're gonna do something about it. And I feel like, I mean, you can look at this from a lot of different angles. You can look at it as a fear of, you know, the white man that, you know, Nipsey was about to make a power move. You know what I'm saying? So they had to take him out. You know, if you think about the assassination of Martin Luther King, you know what I'm saying, or the assassination of Malcolm X, it was the mental shift. You know, Dr. King was about, when he started talking about economic power, that's when, you know what I'm saying, they took him out there. When he was on, you know, when he was saying nonviolence, it was all good. But when he started talking about economic power shift, that's when he got assassinated. When you look at Malcolm X, you know what I'm saying, the same thing. Malcolm X separated from the nation, you know what I'm saying, and he was talking about a different doctrine that wasn't aligned with the status quo. And so, you know, took him out. You know what I'm saying? You could look at the Nipsey situation. You could look at it from one perspective. You could look at it from another perspective and say, you know, this is another black man jealous of another black man. You know, but I think I wanna say this because it's crazy to me that everybody is mourning Nipsey Hussle right now, but then nobody know him. Like, I mean, we know him as an entertainer, you know what I'm saying, as an artist, you know what I'm saying, but unless you are really connected to, you know, certain people, like, nobody knew that he was doing what he was doing, you know what I'm saying, unless you actually followed him. And I mean, you know, that's just a handful of people, but you got all these people and their feelings now talking about, I can't believe Nipsey gone. Guess what they're going to be doing next week? Doing the same stuff that got him killed in the first place. You know, it's just this perpetual cycle. You know, we get emotional over things that we don't know nothing about, don't have nothing to do with it. You know, and then we go back after it's all over, and it's like water under the bridge. I guarantee you, right, like, how often do we talk about the death of Tupac and Biggie? When the anniversaries come up, that's when we really talk about it in a major way. We don't talk about it much at any other time. The same thing gonna happen to Nipsey. You know what I'm saying? It's this big subject right now, but I guarantee you, in 3 months, ain't nobody gonna be talking about Nipsey unless a new story comes out. You know what I'm saying, about something that happened. Ain't nobody gonna talk about it. You know, and so, I mean, I'll take Jordan's stance, which is there's not enough information out there. I haven't done a ton of research yet, because it's still relatively fresh. And I think sometimes, you know, you can jump to conclusions, you know, when you look at something right off the bat, you know. So I would like to see a little bit more information. They're already starting to taint it, you know what I'm saying? Because, what's his name? Christopher Darden is the defense attorney for the alleged, you know what I'm saying, killer, you know? And so there's already been a shift to focusing on the fact we talking about OJ again. Yep. You know, so just another distraction, man. Just another distraction. And so, I mean, all I'm going to say is that, you know what I'm saying, you know, rest in heaven, OG, you know what I'm saying? You know, and hopefully he had the right people around him to carry out the work that he was trying to do.
Yeah, and I believe like his tech team and also his real estate team, I do follow a couple of those guys, and those guys were some smart dudes. And if I like, cause I've been following Nipsey for a few years only for his Bitcoin, cause he got into Bitcoin really early, and I followed him like with his Bitcoin, and I just realized his Bitcoin and his music stuff first. And I just realized he got into real estate. You know what I'm saying? So that when I found out he was doing all that stuff with the real estate, thanks to my cousin, you know what I'm saying, who lives in LA, I was like, yo, that real estate thing is something big. And if he's trying to do that, like what he was on in the process of buying back damn near his whole block. You know what I'm saying? What's up?
Let me say this right quick. Real estate is our biggest opportunity for economic freedom.
And that's what he would be preaching. He always preached that. Like back when he was younger, he was like, yo, why would I, like, cause when he was first coming up, whatever, making money, he was like, yo, why would I buy a car when it depreciates right when I drive it off the lot? Why would I buy chains when it really doesn't appreciate, it depreciates a little bit? You know what I'm saying? Every time you bust it down. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, the main thing we need to start focusing on is land. And this was like back in like 2008, 2009, when he was like not even really Nipsey like as everybody knows him today. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that's that. All right, so it just shows you how to because I've been following Nipsey. The whole damn time. You know, everybody, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people, man, I don't know anybody that will talk like, you know what I'm saying, I've never in my life talked to anybody who said they don't like Nipsey Hussle. Yeah. Like everybody, I mean, even if they didn't know this information, like, bro, they respect his spirit, because he gives off that aura of real, genuine person. You know what I'm saying? He stands up like a man, and yeah, he's always been a hustler. He's always been, you know what I'm saying, well grounded in the economics. I mean, look at how when he was moving that Crenshaw, Crenshaw mixtape, they thought he was crazy. He want $100 for this, $100 for a mixtape. And he got Jay-Z to buy 100 of them. He got Jay-Z to buy 100 of them. Do the math. And so, you know, was it 100 or 1,000? I think if I remember right, even 100 of it would be a lot. But I think Jay-Z might have bought 1,000. It was 1,000 of them. It was something like that, yeah.
And so, I mean, do the math. And then you take that, you flip it around, and you know what I'm saying, and invest that back into yourself. That's all it's about. You know what I'm saying? When you remove the bullshit out of your life, you know, throwing the money away, that's common knowledge. Cars and different stuff like that, man, that shit depreciates in value. It has no value. It's a bunch of bullshit. And it's just ironic how it came back. You know, we talk about the jewelry, the cars, and we call it whips and chains. We call it, we call it, we call it, you know, just like slavery.
or we call a place where we you know what I'm saying, we getting our money at, you know what I'm saying, serving and everything, we call it the trap. You know what I'm saying? It's just ironic how it comes back full circle into something like that. You know what I'm saying? Subconsciously. So nah, man, he's always been grounded in that, man. I think this will help set the bar. I know it's been a lot of growth that's been coming already, you know what I'm saying, behind the scenes, but I think this will set the bar even higher. We just have to take more control of our culture, you know what I'm saying. We've already lost a lot of it, you know what I'm saying. It's like that little Nas X, the country. You saw country, they was like, this ain't country. We ain't having that shit. You can try to call it country all you want. They not having that shit. And what they said is exactly what I thought about the damn song. It sounds like a parody of country music, and you trying to put a little trap beat on it and call it country. They wasn't having that, and all so right. They was protecting. And so
Randy said, "You better not hate on my little Nas X, man."
Oh, y'all think I'm playing? Y'all think I'm playing? Shout out to
that shit's a damn parody.
Hold on,
it's not even 2 minutes long. So he didn't put no true effort into it. Like it's a silly damn song, you know, but people like the silly shit, you know, so it's gonna get a bunch of views and shit like that. But nah, you gotta protect the culture. You still gonna have some of the bullshit, but I think with some of the things, like, you know, with Tekashi 6ix9ine, the way he went down, that's a lesson right there. And then this right here, and like I said, you know, like Big said, you're nobody until somebody kills you. But Nip was always somebody. He was respected. He was respected even before death. This just shot him even higher. You know what I'm saying? This just shot him even higher to where people, you know, when people die, we just naturally as humans take a curiosity to that person. We want to learn about the things, you know, more about their life, more detail. And when you looked into it, you see, you know, he's a man of substance just all the way through. You're a man of substance. And so he's just setting the bar higher. And I think it's just going to inspire more. It's going to inspire more throughout the industry. Yeah. And, you know, hip hop at this point, it has no way to go but to go up. You know what I'm saying? It has no way to go but to go up. So, yeah, man. R.I.P. Nip Hussle, man. That's another guy from my damn play. My whole damn playlist about damn near dead.
Damn.
Yeah, man, this shit crazy, man. My whole damn playlist is about damn near dead. If I go through all the damn rappers, man, but yeah, man, it's a sad thing, man. We got, like I said, it's cliche, but we got to do fucking better. But
we still got crit.
We
still got crit.
Big Crit.
Yeah, man.
We gotta elevate guys like that. We gotta elevate guys like Big Crit, and, you know, get out of what, you know what I'm saying, what the white man is trying to feed us as what's cool and shit. You know what I'm saying? What's the cool thing and trending thing to listen to. Like, we gotta and I think that's happening more and more. You know what I'm saying? I think it's happening more and more. People finding their little lanes. People like what they like, and yeah, just keep pushing those guys, keep pushing these kind of guys. But I think this will help inspire something. You know what would be good right about now, though, is it's a good time. It's a good time for a Kendrick album, man.
That might not happen because Schoolboy Q pushed his album back, which I respected him for. But first and foremost, let me my little man, Lil Nas X, breaking off the presses.
Garbage.
Lil Nas X is releasing a remix to Old Town Roads with country legend Billy Ray Cyrus. Now, if they deny my nigga now, we got a motherfucking problem. But you know what I'm saying? That's not
Miley singing back up.
Possibly, I don't know.
Hey, you know what? That might be actually dope. It might add some validity to it. You know, add some serious. It just the song within itself sound like a damn parody.
Corey, stop.
Why you telling me to stop? Why you telling me to stop?
That's not gonna give it any validity either.
Come to the dark side.
It's a silly ass song. They were talking about what do you say? You say Wrangler on my booty and all that. I'm like, man, this nigga sound like a whole goddamn joke, man. But nah, man, he need to get the fuck out of with that shit.
You know what though?
Hey, and take that Nas out of his name too.
Yeah, I'd be mad if I was not Seer.
Yeah, that's your Jones.
But you know what though? Go back and listen to like some Chuck Berry or something like that. Like very, very for the most part simplistic music. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause Chuck Berry was rock and roll country.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, probably a little bit more rock and roll than country, but he still had, you know what I'm saying, a country feel to his music, because that's where his roots was from. Yeah, a remix, really.
Yeah. All right, so we about to move over to this next. I actually got a question for you guys. Why are we so quick to pull a gun on each other nowadays? Why are we so quick to pull a gun? Is it because of our egos? Is it because of what? What do you guys believe it is? Why do you think we're so quick to pull a gun?
I want to talk on that one. I think it's social media, man. Nobody wants to be seen taking an L.
Okay. All right.
Straight up, like, back in the day, I mean, people used to pull guns on each other back in the day too, but now it's so easy, especially with World Star, when it first came out, like, it's so easy to see somebody get their ass whooped. Don't nobody want to be seen like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you take an L, you ain't dead though. Like, you still get to live your life. You can't fight, man. You can't fight. Learn how to fight. Like, it ain't that hard, but now nobody wants to be seen taking an L, and it's easier. You know what I'm saying? Like, people just get mad, and it's easier just to pull a gun. For one, it's a scare tactic, just to scare people. But I mean, people really out here getting shot too, and it's just like, man, it's so easy, much easier just to pull a gun than it is to fight somebody. And plus, now everybody has that mentality of like, well, damn, if they got a gun, I'm gonna get a gun because I ain't got time to be getting shot. Like, I'm gonna pull mine first. So I think that's where it stems from.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Randy, you still there? Seems like Randy paused up. But yeah, I agree 100%. Because nobody wants to take an L, and then even within taking the L, you know how bad it is within the black community. If you know what I'm saying, in the hood, you take an L, everybody's gonna ramp it up even higher. You know, you got the crowd, everybody, and all that shit. You know what I'm saying, making a big spectacle out of everything. Exactly. So now that does is influence the person even more. So they gonna want to, you know what I'm saying. So they gonna want to get, they gonna want to get their revenge. Nobody wants to be embarrassed. There's not a bunch of people, you know what I'm saying, are sitting around. You take an ass whooping, a bunch of people saying, hey, hey, get up, man, brush yourself off, man. It's all right. You win some, lose some, something like that. It's not that going on. It's just a bunch of ridiculing. We've taught our children. I'll say that even as a black, as black community, go to a black school as a child and go to a white school. Yeah, you're going to have childish things that go on, but the conversations and different things, the way that, we interact with each other, if what I'm saying, it's different. You know what I'm saying? It's completely different. You know what I'm saying? You take a L, like I said, that ridicule is something that's going to stay with you. It's going to stick with you until you fight your way or quite possibly shoot your way. You're going to have to shoot your way or do whatever to get that respect and let motherfuckers know that you ain't to be fucked with. And that's a character flaw that we have as black people. So we got to be teaching our kids, you know what I'm saying? We got to be teaching our kids, but a lot of times the problem is we don't have men, and even if it is men, they weren't taught by men. So, they were probably raised by their mothers. So you got a bunch of women trying to tell you how to handle situations and how to go out and fight and things like that. But it's different from women. Women ain't gonna lose their life within no fight. You know what I'm saying? They ain't around killing each other. So them trying to give a young boy advice on what to do and things like that, it's completely out of line. You know what I'm saying? They got to understand the They got to understand the environment, got to understand the situation right there. That's simple. That's why women, a lot of times, they so damn reckless because they know, what I'm saying, it's taboo to put your hands on them and different things like that. So they going to get there, they going to speak their mind, they going to say whatever. Whereas a man, he's a lot more times than not, he's going to think about it before he says it because he know the wrong thing can set off something to where he either gets killed or he has to end up killing somebody. That's when you're dealing with men. So that's something. I think that's something that needs to be passed on more to the a message that needs to be passed on more to the women when it comes to that.
All right, Lauren, what you got for us? Or did you already go?
Nah, I would just say it's a lack of leadership, lack of mentorship, lack of education. However you want to spin it. I mean, we're a little bit more free, and with that freedom, I think we've been a lot more reckless. Like I said earlier, you don't have any of the OGs, trying to pass down any knowledge to this next generation because they're afraid to get killed themselves. You know what I'm saying? So, you want to wake up to see the next day, you better keep your mouth shut. And, I think some of it has to do with maybe not knowing the right approach as well. Every generation is different, so you have to approach them from a manner in which they can really understand and connect. And I think that's no longer being really thought of. I'm not gonna, I don't think it's being thought of. Like, how do I connect with this young man so that he could see the error in his way and try to, follow a different path? Economically, I think sometimes, we're in a more dire situation, some of our environments as well. And I don't think we really talk about that enough, just survival. When you are just, that's the only thing you focused on every day is just surviving, and somebody encroaches on your ability to survive, it just makes you react a certain way. And we as men, we have a very, very animalistic thought process anyway, in general. So, it's just part of the nature of who we are as men, is to be a little bit more aggressive and things of that nature and not be able to really think through a process. We're very, very much a species of action where women are thinkers and things of that nature. Men are, men by nature, we're more about that action than we are about the thought process behind the action. And so, there's a lot of different factors. But I think it boils down. It all comes back to me, economics and education.
All right. So before we bounce off of here, I talked about this Tuesday. But what do you guys think about dudes going back to the hood and trying to make their hood better? You know what I'm saying? What is you guys' thought process on that? Do you guys think they should do that, continue to do that? Or do you think it should be like Lil Boosie says, nigga, don't live in your hood, don't go back to your hood. You know what I'm saying? Because you become a target. So what is your thoughts on that? Who wants to go first? Corey?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think it's a really, really slippery slope, is the honest question. If there's a fear going back to your hood, like, I don't know about that, but, being a target, or an easier target, I would say, that's all on you. You know what I'm saying? If you go into an environment that may not be safe, like, either don't go, number one, or, protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? Be prepared for what may come. you know, I'll tell you this much: if we don't figure out a way to right the ship, like, I'm not sure that we're any like we're better, you know. I go back, you know what I'm saying, because I have family there, you know, and I'm not afraid by any stretch of the imagination. Matter of fact, interestingly enough, when I go back to the hood, like, I always get the question, like, boy, you ain't from here, are you? And I have to explain, well, I am from here, but I don't currently reside here. You know, here in the city, in Kansas City, the hood is getting destroyed. And I ain't talking about figuratively. I'm talking about literally. They coming in, they knocking houses down, and they building whatever they want to build, you know. And I remember talking to a guy that was working on a lot of the things that they were doing in downtown Kansas City. And I said, so what happens to all the homeless people that just be down here because this is a safe place for them? He's like, we squeeze them further south. And I said, well, the people out south ain't going to let them come in their territory. And he was like, we know that. So I was like, they just get boxed in, so eventually they just get squeezed and they die. He was like, you ain't going to say it like that, but it's true. And I was like, wow. You know, and I think that's, like, here, I mean, you see it happen, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, I can tell you 10 years ago, you know, you go from 5th Street all the way up to the 30s, you know what I'm saying? And it was homeless people, it was hoods, you know what I'm saying? Now, you got lofts, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got houses, you got buildings, like, I mean, it's different, you know? And so, I try to pride myself personally in not leaving people hanging, you know what I'm saying, in that particular sense. Like, I mean, I ain't saying we gotta be Captain Save the Hood Rats, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination. But we do have to find a way to find a balance in, you know, taking a couple people and trying to educate them. It's about the education. Like, I'm not going to be like, okay, well, I'm going to take a little John, a little Ray, and I'm going to bring them out south with me. You know what I'm saying? And, like, you don't have to do that, you know, but there is an opportunity to provide a certain level of mentorship, because when you change the mind, you naturally change the environment. Like, it just, that's the process. You change the mind, and it changes the environment. And that goes back to what I said earlier when I said that, you know, when I was living in the hood, we valued the little bit that we had, and we took care of the things that we had. Well, what happened is, over time, you didn't have that thought process passed down, but people stopped caring. You know, when they stopped caring, they stopped taking care of their things. And I mean, naturally, when you stop taking care of something, it's going to erode to the fact that it's, to the point that it's useless. Mm-hmm. You know, and so, you know, it's all about what you put into it. You know, and that goes back to energy, just in general. You know, if you put positive energy into something, positive energy is going to come back out of that. When you put negative energy into something, negative energy is going to come right back out, and we keep feeding a negative energy to, you know, some of these kids in the hood who are already at a disadvantage, and we wonder why we keep seeing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, those of us that have an opportunity don't care. You know what I'm saying? So we don't do anything. You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, reach one, teach one. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's how it works, you know, and we have to do a better job of that, you know, within our culture. You know what I'm saying? How we speak to our children, speak to, you know, anybody of a younger generation that we encounter. You know what I'm saying? We talk on their level. We don't get them to talk on our levels and think on our levels. We come down to them. you know, and that's not always the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you're not teaching respect when you do that. All you teaching is, you know, just following a pattern of the same old, and it's never gonna work. Never gonna work.
All right, so this brings us close to the end of the show, man. Oh man, I really hope this teachable moment comes through. I really do. Oh man, this teachable moment that hopefully could come through, that should come through. I really do hope so. It's gonna be great because this is honestly kind of perfect timing. But what good, bad, or indifferent, man. If you guys have anything to get off your chest, good, bad, or indifferent today before we bounce out of here, go ahead and get it off your chest now. Anybody got anything to get off their chest? If not, you said.
Hey, let's continue to work together. Let's get understand that America, you know what I'm saying, here, you know, 9 to 5, you know, it's a cool concept. It's better than, you know, being on the streets and indulging in criminal activity. But understand that, you know, really the 9 to 5 and the way it's set up is more, you know, is kind of a criminal activity within its own self. Not what you're doing, but the way that, you know, the people who are controlling that aspect. So, you know, just work. Don't get complacent. You know, let's gain independence. Understand we got to get organized and understand that everybody can't be a fucking boss. So we gotta, you know, ordain somebody as the boss. You know, understand. You know, that's where a lot of education comes in, and just talks in general. I really can't say off top. I know, I can show better than I can say, but you know, choose who, you know, the person you want to lead, because like I said, can't everybody be the boss, but understand a boss has a position to play his damn self. He's nobody's daddy or anything like that. A lot of times they get caught up, especially within, you know, see rappers and all this shit, they talk about a boss and it's whatever I say goes and shit like that. Niggas ain't no goddamn bosses. Cause shit, within the mob, they talk that mob style and shit. These niggas is paying niggas to stay around them, whereas within the mob, them niggas was paying the boss.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The niggas was paying the boss, but you know, that's a whole nother thing. Ordain somebody as the boss, and everybody has a position to play, even the leader. They have a position to play because it's to make the whole body work. It's to make the whole body work, and you know, it's just, there's a lot of different things. There's a lot of different just education and different things that need to be introduced to us as people. We have a whole mental mindset. We need to be completely cleansed as far as our mentality and the way we think. And so, yeah, just introducing that first. You're not going to be able to save everybody, but save everybody you can. But let's get out of these chains and try to work toward, you know, let's figure out ways to, you know what I'm saying, get our own thing going, get some freedom. But that takes working hard. It's not about freedom as though we can sit around and smoke weed or drink all fucking day. No, it's going to take, you know what I'm saying, just as much work, if not even more work. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But there's no, like I said, there's nothing in this world like freedom, though. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that it'll carry over. There's nothing in this world like freedom. You know what I'm saying? So it'll make it that much easier to do the work. So yeah, let's just continue. Let's work together. Let's brainstorm, figure out different ways. Be open to different things. Let's get real. Can't hold back nothing, especially now in 2019. Can't hold back no feelings. Ain't no time to be emotional about different things and shit like that. Accept whatever criticism. If you don't agree, have a rebuttal. Have a rebuttal for it and feel why you don't feel like what the person you said is right. But things have to be worked out, though, mentally. Things have to be worked out. Got to come to different conclusions. Can't be scared to talk to each other and different things like that. But yeah. Let's get free. Let's get free of this. Let's get some liberty, because you know there's not no real freedom. But you know, let's get some damn liberty in this land and shit. Let's work together. Let's get some shit going.
All right,
It's
Jordan.
brainstorm. It's brainstorm. They say the majority of the people, the main things they only visiting about 4 sites. You know what I'm saying? A fucking day, and that's Facebook, Instagram, and all the other little shit, Twitter, and all the other little shit, YouTube or whatever. There's millions and millions of different sites, all type of information on there. If you got a question about how to do different things, look that shit up, because somebody's lived it before you. And people are just human beings in general. They just like to, a lot of people just like to give the information. There's information for everything. So just look it up. Take the time out your day. Nothing is an overnight process. You know, it's, a lot of times it could take years, but it'll pay off. It takes patience, but it takes persistence at the same time. So just look around and brainstorm, and let's lose our minds, come together.
All right, next up, who we got? Jordan, Lauren, which one do y'all want to go? Go ahead.
I just want to say, educate yourself, man. You know, as far as politics, schooling, and, you know, anything, educate yourself about what's going on in your city. You know what I'm saying? So you can go out and help, and people need to just go out and open up their eyes to see what's really going on. You know what I mean? Like, education is key. You know what I'm saying? I was talking to you about that the other day, about, you know, going back and helping out and doing all this stuff for the hood, because you asked, what has the hood ever done for me? Nothing, because I've never even lived in the hood. So, you know, but just go out and do things. You know what I'm saying? Like, it will create more job opportunities for people. We need more black-owned businesses. You know, just educate yourself.
All right, Lauren.
Yeah, you know, Corey took a lot of the words out of my mouth, but I guess the only thing I'm gonna add on is trust the process. That's what I'm gonna say. Trust the process, man. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So trust the process.
Victory lap, baby.
Hey, and push this. I do want people to push this. I don't care if you smoke it or not. Tell motherfuckers, hey, I smoke weed. I just stopped smoking weed probably about a month ago. Tell motherfuckers, don't push that shit, because I believe that's part of the huge agenda to keep motherfuckers. It just, what it does is it dims people's fire. It dims their ambition. Not everybody. A lot of people are able to function off it, but for the most part, it dims people's ambition. And I think that's a lot of the problem that goes on with us today. You know, we smoking, we taking different drugs, and even just weed, something that seems as harmless as weed, even though it does have harmful things in it. It's even health wise, you know what I'm saying? They're not gonna tell you this. You know, we say that, you know, the white man, you know, why should we believe this and that? But when it comes to something we like, we'll believe them on that. When they say weed is good for you, be like, hell yeah, weed is good for you, because it's something that we like. It's something that is good, you know, that we want to believe. Yeah. But now, I believe that's part of the problem. Is people putting their emotion aside, you know what I'm saying, and that pain that they feel, they're just numbing it. And all you're doing, you know what I'm saying, you're numbing it for tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? And within that time frame, you know what I'm saying, you could have been trying to figure that shit out. And I understand this shit hurts. So what I'm saying is it's easier said than done. But like I said, it's not terrible. The abuse of marijuana and things it's not good. I believe I could have got much more done. You know, I've been working hard my whole life, but I think I could have got much more done off of it. That's just me personally. And I just don't like the promotion of it, as if trying to make it as, you know, have America on weed, and, you know what I'm saying, have it legal everywhere and things like that. Let's cut down the promotion. The same way I look at gay marriage and things like that. I believe gay people should have, you know, be able to have the right to be married so they can have access to those benefits. But the promotion of it, don't be promoting that shit as if it's normal. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same way with marijuana. So that's just something I wanted to tell people, you know, we need to pass that message along, and don't try the best not to okay that shit. Don't sit up there and chastise a person, be like, "Oh, you're a demon" and shit like that, and the devil and whatever like that. But let's not make it. When you hear somebody sitting up there talking about, "Hey, ain't nothing wrong with marijuana and things like that, shit like that," marijuana is good for you. Nah,
it depends on where you get it from. But
no matter where you get, I don't care if it was grown out of the ground, because it wasn't made to be smoked every day. It wasn't made to be abused. It has healing properties within it when it's used the proper way, but just sitting around and smoking it, and you know what I'm saying, and then even past smoking, like I said, the abuse of it, doing it every day, it's no good for you. It's no good for you.
All right, so
maybe it would have helped your ankle.
Maybe. All right. I'm back to I'm at 98% right now. I still feel a little bit of tightness in it. Hey, we
put that Baron Davis on.
Hey, we 4-1 though. We 4-1 though, man. You know what I'm saying? 4-1. We going against a 5-0 squad on Sunday, man. So my shit feeling better. My shit was a little tight last game because we normally got about 10 to 11 people on the squad, and only 6 of it showed up last game. So man, I think I played about 35 minutes, man, out of the 40 minutes, man. I was tired as hell, but my ankle held up, man. My ankle held up, and shit, it's feeling even better this week, man. So yeah, man, we'll see what's up, man. We had a little bit of footage, but we only had like a few seconds of footage, man. You got to talk to my wife on that one, man. She fucked up on it. But we'll try to get it. We'll try to get it this Sunday, man. Get some footage out there, man.
All right. So what I want to say is I actually got a couple things real quick. One, I want to say I don't really want to say the name because I know I just found out. Well, I didn't find out it was a troll. I knew it was a troll. So the dude, I don't really want to say his name, that shot Nipsey. I think it was Saturday. No, it was Monday. It's Monday. I posted a picture of when Nipsey Hussle was finna fight the Rockets in LA. I don't know if you guys remember that. But yeah, I had posted that picture, whatever, and I was like, never forget when Nipsey was finna throw hands for LA or whatever. And on my Instagram page, it was a troll page that had the dude's name, that dude, you know what I'm saying? He was like, "Oh, laugh out loud, I remember that. Like this page." And he commented again. I deleted both of the comments, and then he liked the picture or whatever. I'm like, no, like I swear to God, I was like, I know this is a troll page, but that shit ain't even funny to me. That shit's not funny at all. And
he said he had the name of the dude that shot Nipsey.
Yeah, and he had the pictures and everything. No, it was not funny to me, though.
Man.
It was
troll, but that's why motherfuckers is doing, because we as like I always say, don't hate the player, hate the game. We as people always put these motherfuckers in the game. We bring that attention. They know we gonna look that way. We know we gonna look, you know what I'm saying? Because when it's something that's just out of the blue or just some crazy shit, people are gonna look. Just like that person that was talking about, he shot that young dude that was talking about he shot Nipsey. After that, you know what I'm saying? That brought him some attention. You know what I'm saying? So people gonna do troll shit because they know it brings them attention. It's up to us to, you know what I'm saying, to one by one figure out a way to how we can just try to cover our eyes. I know, because I look at the troll shit my damn self. Hey, I click on it and be like, what this nigga trolling? Let me see what this motherfucker talking about. And that adds to the damn view count. No matter if it's 1 million views on it, my damn view added to the view count. So, you know what I'm saying? We got to find a way to shut these motherfuckers out, man. If anything, at least don't give them a like. You know what I'm saying? Look at it, but don't give them a damn like. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got people liking the shit or something. You really out of line. So yeah,
it was that, and also since Nipsey has died, it's been a shit ton of YouTubers that have like ate off of his name, and like honestly, YouTube cut it to where you can't eat off of Nipsey's name. So everything, all the ad views and everything else goes to YouTube. So you pretty much just trying to grab subscribers and people's attention. I want to say fuck you to the dude who said the caption was Nipsey Hussle finds out that Dr. Sebi finds out that Nipsey Hussle is his biological son. And niggas is so gullible, clicked on the shit. Bro, like somebody sent that shit to me. I was so pissed. I was so pissed, dog. Like I was like, that's not funny to play with, nigga. Like it was pissing me off. But
no, it's not even on the play. That's not even on no play shit. It's so dumb. If you look at the title, I don't even know why somebody would even click on it. That shit right there. I be seeing troll shit like that. Those are the type of shit. It's easy as fuck. There's nothing in my mind that says, hey, let me click on this and see what they're talking about here. Like, there's nothing in me even click on that shit. Nah, that's easy to avoid.
Yeah, I was just like, y'all people, boy. But
that's like somebody saying they done found John Benet Ramsey.
Oh man.
Okay. All right, but the one positive thing I really wanted to say is I pulled this from T.I. He said they don't realize how many more Nipseys they just birthed, which I'm hoping is very true, man. And honestly, I want to be one of the people to help a lot of these little Nipseys out, man. I want to be one of the people. I want to be one of these people that are gonna push my people to buying real estate, to doing good, you know what I'm saying, to have their families living right, you know what I'm saying. That's what I want to do. At least that's just me. But that's the one thing I was a good.
It's true.
You said what?
It's true. They will birth more in Nipseys. You even look at the numbers. Black ownership, black businesses have gone up 13% over the past year from 2018 to 2019. So it's 13%. That's a good number. You know what I'm saying? I believe so. It may seem small, but you know what I'm saying? Like I said, like Lauren said, trust the process. You know what I'm saying? Small things. So yeah. Now let's keep continuing. But I agree. I believe that's true. I believe this will birth more, especially with the exposure and things like that. It's just funny. It's hard to sit there and say, death and try to look at, the positive things about death because of its finality and, we lose a person. But there's a lot of times when I'll say it like this, when a person does good, when he lives his life the right way and inspires people the right way, death can be a good thing. Death can be a good thing. You know what I'm saying? It still hurts. It's fucked up. He died way too early, but because he planted the seed, now that tree can grow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That tree can grow, and it'll, like I said, it'll inspire more people. Yeah.
All right. With that being said, man, this is episode 128 of the Average Guy podcast on the Average Guy Studios. What I need you guys to do before we bounce out of here is a link in the description below, man. There's Grit Sports Media, and also Grits Culture. Corey, let them know what they'll get with Grit Sports Media and Grits Culture. Grit Culture.
Sports and culture.
Sweet, simple, and to the point. All right. And also, man, Lojo Speaks, man. Lauren, let them know what they'll get with Lojo Speaks.
Man, it's been a minute, but man, Lojo Speaks all things fatherhood, man. All things fatherhood. It's a growing community. We're talking about building fathers back up and making sure we fortify and strengthen our homes, man.
All right, man. And also, I want to say thank you to each one of my co-hosts, man, for pulling up and pulling through with the boy. Thanks to my boy Jordan, you know what I'm saying, pulling up for it's been a minute, but he's back in here. Did you have anything, your socials that you wanted to give out?
No, not yet. I ain't got nothing going on right now.
All right. So on that note, man, we are out. Peace. We'll see you guys. I'm going to be back Monday. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to see you guys Monday. I know I fucked up last Monday. I do apologize. But yeah, Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, the Average Guy podcast, sports talk with the Average Guy. And I also have something in the chamber for a teachable moment and Geeks and Critiques. I still haven't seen it yet. So that's on the back burner right now. I'm sorry guys for Geeks and Critiques. But with all that being said, man, I'm out. Peace.